Good day to you, all of you. I'm Sean Xavier Alcalita, so I'll be proceeding to the next chapter, which is the moral agent. So before we proceed to the moral agent, so let us go first with the orientation to ethics. And first things first that we have to deal with about the rules. So it seems that some people don't like rules because they feel restricted. They feel that they're not free. They feel that they cannot do whatever they want to do. But in fact, life cannot be organized without the rules. People always need rules and laws in order to live and deal together. Now, all the rules and laws have the same purpose. No? They organize the relations between individuals and the society to make it clear um, what is right and wrong, and what happens if somebody breaks the rules. Uh, they are designed to ensure fairness, safety, and respect for other people's rights. Now, what's the importance of following the rules? No? So, okay, what is a rule? First, rules refer to a set of guidelines which have been put in place in different countries and communities and have been accepted by all. Okay, so when used appropriately, if it used correctly, rules provide a sense of predictability and consistency for people, thereby promoting what? So what's the rule promotes? It promotes physical, moral, social, and emotional safety. Okay, now ethics is concerned with other people's interests, with the interests of society, God's interests, with ultimate goods, and so on. Then, rules are a specific set of norms of behavior, regulations, and laws established on purpose to regulate the life in the community. Okay, so you have here the classroom rules, no? So this is usually being elaborated during the first day of the class, but since that we are not in our class, so we're because we are facing the difficulty of our life because of the pandemic, so we use the internet to have our as a shall I say as one of the means, no, to handle our classes. Now let's go back, no? So classroom rules: listen carefully, follow directions, work quietly, excuse me, respect others, and play safely. So why do we have rules? Now, so one of the purpose why, or the reasons why we have rules, because they enable people to organize all the processes correctly, starting from house chores and ending with more complicated issues such as functioning as whole country. Moreover, a well-developed system of rules help humanity to avoid chaos and many problems that may be caused by the lack of regulations. So therefore, laws dictate what is proper and what is wrong. So that is why, class, that the law is created, no, for the sake of the common good. That is why, class, Aristotle defined law is an ordinance of reason promulgated by a certain authority who is in charge of a community for the sake of the common good. It's just the same as with the rules. The rules are there in order to promote for a common good, not for the good of yourself, but for the good of everyone. Okay, so the importance of rules. So rules are important because they tend to protect the weaker class in the society, as they might be in a disadvantageous position if rules are broken. Next, they provide a stable environment and human coexistence in a society, which leads to peace and development. Another one of reason is to avoid punishment. That is why those who are students here in psychology, you know this guy, B.F. Skinner, Burroughs Frederick Skinner, is one of the key proponents of the operant conditioning, diba? As what he said, that behavior is shaped and maintained by its consequences. So once if you impose, once if you give reinforcement, I've said reinforcement, so behavior can be modified by means of reinforcement and or punishment. And rules, setting up rules is a behaviorist perspective. No, it's a behaviorist manner. It's because when you impose a certain rule, behavior itself can be maintained. That's what B.F. Skinner meant in this, in his scope. Okay, so let's move further to the main idea about ethics now. So what is ethics? Or another name for ethics is moral philosophy, which may define in a professional way as the scientific study about moral judgments. So our moral judgments are based if the action is right or wrong. Moreover, the subject of ethics consists of the fundamental issues of practical decision making, and its major concerns include the nature of ultimate value and the standards by which human actions can be judged right or wrong. That is a moral judgment. Okay, so next one, it comes from the Greek word ethos, which can mean a custom, a habit, character, or it could mean a disposition. Okay, so it's not only about morality, particular courses of action, but it's also about the goodness of individuals. That is why everyone is good as far as ethics is concerned, and what it means to live a good life. Okay, so let's move further. Basic branches of ethics. So first one, basic branch of ethics is what we call it, the normative ethics. So what do we mean by normative ethics? In which actions are judged by their merits, allowing societies to develop codes of conduct for behavior. So therefore, here, in normative ethics, actions are the basis of determining the morality. So if your action is right, therefore, the moral here, the morality of your actions is right itself, And if you done something evil, therefore what you did is totally evil. No? So there is a moral standard in normative ethics. That is why the best example here is the golden rule. It was first elaborated by Confucius in his Analects, no? Do unto others as you would have them do to you. So here, what does it mean, the golden rule? So anyway, in the chapter 2, we can elaborate what the golden rule means. So here in the golden rule, kung in Filipino idea or in Filipino perspective, kung anumang bagay na ayaw mangyari sa'yo, huwag mong gawin sa iba. Or obversely speaking, kung anuman ang bagay na gustong mangyari sa'yo, gawin mo. So what does it mean here? The meaning of the golden rule is here. The core, this one here, no? At the right portion. The core of the golden rule is a moral obligation. So in the moral obligation that we are treating others ethically for their sake, not ours. So we're treating the other people, others, as an end in themselves, no? Okay. And we should not use others for our own sake, even if it is better than the way they treat us. Why? What does it? Why? Bakit? Ano man? So not because it's advantageous, because it is the right thing to do, no? And because the way we treat others is about who we are. It determines on who we are as a person, not who they are. So that's the explanation from Michael Josephson. Okay, so that's a basic branch, one of the basic branches of ethics, normative ethics. So shall we move? Okay. So this is Cayetano, no? When there was a news that an EU Parliament is trying to meddle in our affairs, no, in our political affairs in our country, he reacted by saying that here in the Philippines, bilog ang mundo. Time will come that the Philippines will be the ones to impose economic sanctions in your own countries. So remember that in everything, do to others what you want them to do to you. So that is what he said here. And moreover, this is what also President Duterte has said in his video.
Very good question now. Kasi, magsabi si Trillanes, bakit ako lang? Karami namin pumasok dyan sa kudita-kudita na yan. Kaya ang sagot ko sa kanya is, the President's prerogative. You read the Philippine Constitution. The President shall have the power to pardon and grant amnesty with the concurrence, with the agreement with Congress. Yan lang. Ngayon, what is the lesson learned? Bakit tinarget ko siya? Well, I only have one more. Pareho man tayo na tatrabaho lang rin. I will just quote, correct me if I'm wrong. Do not do unto others what you would not want them to do to you.
Okay, let's proceed. Okay, so next one is the descriptive ethics. No, descriptive ethics, on the other hand, ask what the people think is moral. So therefore, in descriptive ethics, there's no absolute moral standard insofar as descriptive ethics is concerned. Here, this branch of ethics does not actually claim that things are right or wrong, so it is relative, but simply studies how individuals or societies define their morals. What makes something right or wrong in a specific culture. Now, I just give an example here, no, with regards to religion. For example, I just give an example about in the Roman Catholic Church that the people or the Roman Catholics, they venerate the sacred images. Okay, so that's the religious practice, and moreover, it's not only the religious practice, but it also entails the expression of their own faith. But in the other hand, in the other sects, like the born again Christians would say that it is immoral because it is idolatry. So therefore, what is the standard of faith in the Roman Catholicism does not apply to the moral standard into the other religious sect. The same as also with the born again to the Catholic Church, that they do not have the right to impose their moral standard. It's because of the differences of interpretation of the sacred scriptures. So unsa may buhato nato ani? So what are we going to do with this? So in this case, respeto na lang, di ba? Because it cannot change anything, no? Not unless that today karon man good class today, it is not really debates are already gone are the debates na good actually, because ang uso naman jud karon, what is trending nowadays is ecumenism, that the church nowadays is very open to enter into a religious dialogue with the non-Catholic religious groups, no? So para nako guys, dili na ta maglali sana kay actually di naman na angay lalisan kay ngano man pareho ra man tagpadulngan, pareho ra man tag Ginoo nga gituuhan, di ba? So respeto lang. Yun na ra. Okay, so let's proceed further. Okay, so here let's proceed with the video.
Hi, I'm Kelly Schiffman. I'm a PhD student at Yale University, and today I want to talk about the distinction between normative and descriptive claims. So people make claims all the time. Someone might say, "The sky's beautiful today," or "I just saw a UFO," or "Chris Rock is hilarious," or "The Golden Gate Bridge is in San Francisco." Now, of course, it's important for us to figure out whether claims like these are true or false. But before we can do that, it's important to understand what sort of claim it is. Philosophers find it useful to distinguish between two different sorts of claims: normative claims and descriptive claims. When you make a descriptive claim, you're describing something. You merely express your understanding of how something is or could be, without offering any, even implicit evaluation of it relative to a standard or ideal or alternative. Examples of descriptive claims include: the moon is made of cheese, dinosaurs used to exist, Obama's president, that boy has large ears, I could have more money. Notice that even if I'm likely to have an opinion about somebody having large ears or the fact that I could have more money, this opinion isn't being expressed in the descriptive claim itself. Based just on the claim, you can't tell whether I think the way things are is better or worse than the way they could be. When you make a normative claim, you express your evaluation of something. When you evaluate something, you're assessing it, often implicitly, relative to some standard or ideal or alternative way that it could be. It's to say that something is, well, at least in some respect, better than or worse than or on par with some standard or ideal or alternative. When we make normative claims, we often use words like good or bad or better than. For example, Leonardo DiCaprio is a really good actor. That's a normative claim. Or that tomatoes taste bad, but ketchup tastes great. Or my math class is no better than and no worse than my English class. These are all normative claims. They contain an element of evaluation. Normative claims also include words like should or shouldn't, or right, wrong. For example, you should do your homework. You shouldn't pick your nose. It's not okay to steal a candy bar. Sending a thank you note is the right thing to do. These are also normative claims. But there are many more evaluative words that can appear in normative claims. Consider the following. It's fine to eat 3 burgers a day. The movie was ridiculous. Broccoli is disgusting. Video games are awesome. And it's not cool to skip school. These are all normative claims as well. Now, once we figure out whether a claim is normative or descriptive, that helps us to assess its truth, answer certain questions, settle certain disagreements. Consider a case in which you think our neighbor's car is red, and I think it's not. I think it's blue. Here we're disagreeing about a descriptive claim. So all we need to do to settle the disagreement is to figure out whether that descriptive claim is true or not. We need to figure out how the world is. So contrast this with a case in which you say that red cars are better than blue cars, and I say that blue cars are better than red cars. Here, we're disagreeing over normative claims. So what we need to do is sort through that. For example, I might argue that blue cars are better than red cars because red cars get pulled over disproportionately by the police. Here we're working through a normative issue. Either way, getting clear on whether something is a normative claim or a descriptive claim is the first step towards figuring out truths and towards settling debates like this.
Okay, so let's proceed now. Why we study ethics. Now, one of the reasons why we study ethics is not to gain grades in our subject matter, but there is something more than earning grades in this subject, no? So the serious student in ethics will find this work both profitable and interesting to the highest degree. Now, one of the key reasons why we study this ethics is because in order to widen our understanding concerning about the moral problems, no? As he becomes acquainted with the thoughts of the other men. So we're not only acquainted with one single school of thought, but on different moral philosophies of different schools of thought in philosophy, no? Because philosophy does not only cover only to one single school of thought, but entails also the whole. So in treating ethics, we are going to treat the holistic aspect in understanding what is right and what is evil, no? And how to live a good life, because different philosophers have different moral philosophies and moral standards set in their own based on their own example, no? Next. Now, aside from that, as I've said, your moral problems understanding will be widened, and also your critical faculties will be trained, so you will know the reasons for his moral convictions and also the reasons for the moral convictions of others. So it also follows that. And the study of ethics will enable the person to understand better what his conscience is. So it is also to train our conscience. Okay. And moreover, a book, your textbook or ebook that I've required you to buy can by no means prescribe for anyone what should be the vocation in life. No. Okay.
So thank you. Thanks for watching. Please don't forget to share, like, and subscribe to my YouTube page for more videos on Philo 101 subject. Once again, I'm Sean Xavier Alcalita. Thank you very much.